Is it worth buying an iPad with Wi-Fi plus cellular capabilities? We're going to find out right now. I'm going to be discussing the benefits, the pros and cons of having a cellular iPad, and I've been using it since February, 3 months, and I'm here to give you guys my review of the iPad Pro with cellular capabilities. Keep in mind, getting an LTE iPad is also going to include Wi-Fi, but it's going to be a price jump. So for the iPad Pro model, it's going to cost an additional $150. Or if you want a standard iPad such as the iPad mini, the iPad Air, or the iPad 10.2 inch, it's going to cost you an additional $130. So the iPad Pro model is more expensive when it comes down to LTE. If you've been using an iPad throughout the years, you guys understand how fun it is using your iPad. From surfing the web, checking your emails, playing video games, you understand how the iPad works, how the experience is like. Imagine that experience on the go. You're somewhere else, you're away from home, you have that same iPad experience on the go. So having cellular capabilities, you're going to be connected online at all times. My previous iPad Pro, which was the first generation iPad Pro 9.7 inch, it was only Wi-Fi and it has 32 gigabytes of storage, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But it was so limited. I can only use it here, or I can bring it, but I would have to get the Wi-Fi password, and that's a hassle and long. At a friend's house, at a restaurant, you're always going to be connected no matter what, and that's the beauty of having cellular capabilities on an iPad. You know, once I got this, I don't think I'm ever going to go back to a Wi-Fi only iPad. Something about having that experience on the go is just amazing. I got to tell you guys. I'm away from home. I just want to show you guys the functionality of using LTE. So I'm still connected to T-Mobile and I have full bars, and just using the web is going to be just as normal. You could still go to any website and it's just relying on your LTE connection. And those of you guys that say, oh, using an iPhone is the same thing as an iPad, you're wrong. You know, and I know some people out there saying like, oh, the iPhone and the iPad is the same experience. It's the same thing. No, you're wrong. Using an iPad is a totally different experience. You have the Apple Pencil, you have the smart Magic Keyboard, I should say. You have multitasking, you have picture-in-picture. You have so many things going on the iPad, and I feel like when you take out the iPad, you getting some serious work done. If you're surfing something, or you're looking for plane tickets, or you want to surf the web, something about using an iPad is a way better experience than an iPhone. The iPhone, I look at it as like a, something where you could just surf the web very quickly. If I want to look up a word, or if I want to just look up a quick YouTube video, I can use my iPhone. But 9 times out of 10, I always like using my iPad, just thanks to the display and thanks to the keyboard and thanks to the Apple Pencil. It's just something about using an iPad is way more fun than using an iPhone. I still love my iPhone, but the iPad is so much better. So having LTE plus Wi-Fi, that improves the GPS. So if you want to use this for, directions in your car, if you want to use this as a navigation, you can do so with just your iPad. Now looking through the data plans, the best one has to be the T-Mobile plan. The prices are affordable and the speeds are fast. It's super duper fast on T-Mobile and affordable prices. I paid $10 for 5 months just to have my iPad activated. So it's very affordable, super affordable. You get an LTE. It is 5 gigabytes capped, so I'm not sure if it's gonna be like per day or if it's gonna be per month. I'm not sure how it's gonna be, but I just subscribed to that last month. But I've always been paying $5 for the day. Instead of that, why not just pay $10 for 5 months for 5 gigabytes? So that's what I decided to do. I was looking at AT&T, but the problem with AT&T is a little bit on the pricey side, and for the amount of data that you're getting, it's not really all that. And also I was looking at Sprint, but Sprint is not really all that fast. I really hate Sprint, to be honest with you guys. And Verizon wasn't really an option. I'm pretty sure I can force this thing to get Verizon. I recommend T-Mobile if you want to activate your iPad, or even better yet, you can just add this iPad to your existing iPhone line. But that may jack up the price of their iPhone plan or your phone plan in general. So it's up to you. But I like having the prepaid plan because it's easy, it's 1, 2, 3, and this is independent. It's not part of my iPhone plan whatsoever. And yeah, this is how it is in action. So I can watch a YouTube video. I can see what's going on with H3. I can see what's going on with my boy Will, and I'm looking for some TVs and stuff like that. So yeah, and as you guys can see, it's loading very fast. I mean, and this is very usable, very, very straightforward. The only thing that you can't do with an LTE connection, which is a little disappointing, you cannot connect to your PS4 via remote play. I actually tried doing that, and you cannot play PS4 games using an LTE connection. It's going to tell you to connect to Wi-Fi. Maybe my next Apple Watch, I should get LTE on my Apple Watch, but I think that's a waste of money. I think that right there is a waste of money. The chances of me traveling without my iPhone is very slim. It's slim to none, but my iPad, this is something different. This is a different experience. I never had an LTE Apple Watch before. Maybe Series 6, I might get LTE Apple Watch. I got this iPad at a fairly solid deal. I brought this on eBay for $739 for 256 gigabytes and LTE capability. And I think that's a steal. That's a steal for an iPad. And yeah, that's the best thing I could say. Although it's a price jump, check eBay. Search eBay, you might find a great deal. Now, the only con with this deal that I picked up, it didn't include the box, it didn't include no cables, but hey, I have all the cables and the box. Okay, it's not the end of the world. And also, you don't have to activate your iPad right away. You could activate your iPad anytime. You're not forced to activate it from day one and that's it. You can activate it the next day, next month, next year, anytime you want. You could barely do anything on your iPad away from playing games or watching movies if you have it stored. But for the most part, it's more fun having an iPad with Wi-Fi or having some kind of connection. And that's why I would say having that LTE is good, because you could be anywhere. Are you going to do it for your business? Because being able to upload your content on the go is amazing. You can't do that on a MacBook. You can take it out, but you can't activate your MacBook. But you could do that on your iPad. Can your iPad Pro replace your computer? That's coming soon. Once you go LTE, it's going to be hard for you to go Wi-Fi only. And yeah, the con would be, it's an additional $150 or an additional $130. That could go towards your Apple Pencil. That could go towards Apple Care or the keyboard. But yes, I agree with you. But having that magic on the go, outside, you're taking that same magical iPad experience on the go with connection. I can't stress this enough to you guys. I highly recommend LTE on your iPad. And I know especially right now you got to stay home, but most people, they upgrade their iPad 5 years. The iPad is going to be good. You're going to have a lot of updates. You're going to have a lot of features along the way. I had an iPad 2 from 2011 to 2016. Like, these iPads last a very long time. And I know for the next 5 years or the next 4 years, this iPad is still going to go strong. And having that cellular capabilities is going to make your iPad even more future-proof, because if you take it out on the go, you don't have nothing to worry about. And that leads me, should you upgrade your storage or should you get LTE? And I'm going to be honest with you guys, 100%, I recommend upgrading the storage than getting LTE. And upgrading the storage is cheaper than getting the LTE model. Upgrading the storage is $100 more. I always recommend getting the storage because you're going to be downloading apps, or if you're a content creator, you're going to have photos. This iPad is 256 and I already have 130 gigabytes left. I mean, that's still a lot, but I got to also be careful because I could run out of space. If this was 64 gigabytes, I would have been done a long time ago. But if you can afford both, by all means, I recommend it. But if I had to choose between LTE and storage, upgrade the storage, get the Wi-Fi only. Once you get the Wi-Fi only model, you're going to be stuck with that. If you know for a fact that you're just going to leave your iPad at home, then yeah, I guess the Wi-Fi only is going to be good. But it's going to be that time. It's going to be those times. For me, I had those times all the time. You want to take your iPad, but you don't have any cellular capabilities. And yeah, this stuff is expensive. The iPad is one of the most expensive things because... especially if you're getting the iPad Pro. Let's say you want LTE. You're going to get the Apple Pencil. You need to get Apple Care. You need to get the Magic Keyboard case. You're looking about like $1,000 plus dollars easily. Sometimes the Wi-Fi is not as reliable and sometimes it's slow. And yes, I can use a hotspot on my iPhone, but then now I'm draining my iPhone's battery life. Yeah, I like to keep my devices independent as much as I can. You can also activate a hotspot, so if you want to play your Nintendo Switch on the go, you can have this as a hotspot and use this as a router, basically. And yeah, and that's basically it. This is how my T-Mobile plan look like so far. And yeah, I'm going to be good for 5 months for 5 gigabytes.
And I think that should be good enough. I think that's the best deal right now.
And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about cellular capabilities on iPad, let me know down in the comments down below. I'll try my best to answer them. And also, if you guys are new around here, make sure you guys subscribe with notifications on, and make sure you guys drop a like on this video. Help me out a bunch. And other than that, your boy Pops. I hope you guys stay safe, stay clean, and stay simple. Peace.